There's somewhere in our recent history that the authenticity of the human experience, which was portrayed in, Shakespearean plays perfectly, right? Shakespearean plays aren't happy. That's one thing I was very surprised by. It's really, as far as, just creations go, they're mostly sad and rather tragic, but yet nonetheless, they're so popular because they allow us to have this full human experience. And they create the lows so that we can feel the highs and kind of have that full cycle. Now, that is no longer the, let's just say, popular way of living your life. You're actually supposed to pretend you're perfect. You're supposed to pretend these negative emotions don't exist. Consequently, what you're doing is you're actually limiting your ability to feel positivity, and I think it actually gives birth to a tremendous amount of insecurity. So let's just talk about for a second insecurity in men and women. Where do you think that comes from? And is it just social media, or is there more sources of it?
Judgment of others. Fear of judgment of others. That's where it comes from.
Yeah. Adam, we talk about insecurity a lot. What are your thoughts? What does it come from? What is it?
Insecurity. So, to my experience, first as a marriage family therapist, now as the attachment specialist, doing attachment theory work and things like that, what I've often found is that our family helps us grow, and they either help us continuously face new beliefs, challenge beliefs, grow into our beliefs, find what our beliefs are and express them, and the world is an opportunity, or our family grows us into a fearful state. Either we have to avoid others and control every interaction, or we have to please others because we ourselves are somehow unacceptable. And so we limit our beliefs, and we never, ever question any beliefs ever again, because now our beliefs are the only thing keeping us safe. This is what we seem to be experiencing. And here in America, at least, the research says it's about 50% or even up to 65% now of young people are having these massively limited fear-based beliefs. So everything you've shared is exactly spot on. I wrote my book, Slaying Your Fear, about this because I've seen that the rates of this are increasing. And one of the pieces in this book that I've helped people do, one of the initial steps that I think, Andrew, really resonates with your work, is discovering what your values even are, really finding them and seeking them rather than a fear-based system. Exactly what you said. I have to please others. I must look this way or I will be in danger or others shall reject me. Instead, saying these are my values and some will reject my values, but others will love my values, and I am not going to appease people who don't like those values. That's been my thought so far. Andrew, has that resonated maybe with you?
So for the missing beliefs, I think a lot of people struggle with that inner critic. I think a lot of people have that, and for me, that's that comes down to environment where there's it could be through formative years or later on in life, wherever. But if you're in an environment where you've got overcritical parents, where you've got maladaptive sibling rivalry, where you've got toxic relationships, romantic or friends, or societal, or let's say work colleagues, highly judgmental, that all contributes to that inner critic. And that just sort of, the more time and you expose yourself to those things, that the more that inner critic grows. And I think it's just, it's addressing that. It can be quite crippling for most people, having that, and that inner critic just holds them back a lot. There's this reverberation of the stuff that they're telling themselves. This to most people, I think it's an imperceptible thought processing and command that they're just running these thoughts that they can't do these things, and they won't be able to do that, or this, and that all stems from that. I think it's just all stems from that inner critic, and it's a little bit of work to unpick that. Just first being aware of it, just addressing that, and not beating yourself up about it, and not chastising or berating yourself for making a mistake. And I think that's another way. So people are so scared of making a mistake. If your parents never, let's say, if you never saw your parents make a mistake, and they never spoke to you about them, of course you're going to be adverse to trying things and taking risk. because you don't want to make that mistake yourself. You're thinking, oh, okay, these my parents, these guys are crushing it. There's something, what's wrong with me? I'm making all these mistakes, which are inevitable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my mouth shut and I'm going to cover this up, this mistake. I am not going to tell anyone. So this creates this like cover-up culture. And I think when people don't show that, these mistakes, or don't talk about them, it just leads to this pretense, this facade that, there's a perfection element.
If you like this clip, I know you're going to enjoy the full episode. You can watch it right here.